This guy is very strange. Every time he finishes running, he has to take off his shoes. At this moment, the campus beauty passing by originally wanted to talk to him, but she was driven away by the stench of his shoes. The next day, the campus beauty threw money to the guy. She wanted him to buy a new pair of shoes. Anthony was completely shocked. At that moment, the magical system told him, as long as he can successfully win over the campus beauty, he will receive a Maybach car. And the reason Anthony has such a magical system has to be traced back to a few days ago. Not long ago, Anthony's girlfriend abandoned him because she thought he was poor. In his anger, Anthony unexpectedly obtained the urban tycoon system. The system showed that Anthony's strength and speed were below standard. Therefore, his level was very low. He had to complete tasks to level up. Only then could he receive higher rewards. The higher the level, the more rewards. The previous side task was to run and do sit-ups every day. If he persisted for a week, he could get a reward of the latest smartphone. Anthony happily agreed, so he started running every night. Unexpectedly, he ran into the campus beauty, Vivian, on the playground. Seeing the system notification that as long as he won over Vivian, he could get a Maybach, Anthony immediately felt excited. Pursuing a girl requires spending money. Anthony first went to work part-time at a coffee shop. However, Vivian happened to see this scene. Vivian thought Anthony came from a struggling family. She assumed he couldn't bear to spend that money on new shoes. So Vivian personally bought the shoes and gave them to him. After Vivian left, the boss told Anthony that these shoes were worth several $1,000s. Anthony felt they were too expensive. He immediately wanted to return them to Vivian, but Vivian thought he was too proud. She deliberately said that if he didn't want them, she would throw them away. Anthony, of course, couldn't bear to throw them away. Vivian gently encouraged him, telling him not to feel any psychological burden and to keep striving for progress. Anthony felt Vivian's goodwill, so he boldly confessed his feelings, asking if she could be his girlfriend. However, Vivian refused. At this time, the system notified Anthony. Vivian does have a good impression of him, but it does not reach the level of liking. It's only appreciation and sympathy. To help Anthony succeed quickly, the system proposed providing unlimited funds for 8 hours for Anthony to use freely. The condition is that he must win Vivian's affection. Otherwise, all expenses would be paid by Anthony himself. So Anthony asked Vivian to accompany him to the mall. He dressed himself according to Vivian's preferences. At night, he prepared a candlelight dinner. After spending a day together, Vivian was very satisfied with Anthony. At this time, the system showed the conquest task was completed. The luxury car reward would be delivered tomorrow. Sure enough, Vivian not only hugged Anthony when they parted, but also sent a message agreeing to be his girlfriend. Anthony's task was truly completed. The next day, Anthony and Vivian had a meal together. Jerry, who had been pestering Vivian, came over. He angrily insulted Vivian for having no taste, claiming that Anthony was not worthy of being with Vivian. Anthony demanded an apology from Jerry. Jerry sneered disdainfully. He even continued to mock. At this moment, Anthony directly pressed his head onto the table, ordering him to apologize. Jerry was furious because he came from a wealthy family, yet he was overpowered by a poor student he looked down on. Jerry shouted that he would punish Anthony. Anthony threatened that if he didn't apologize, he would hit him. Just as the cup was about to fall, Jerry finally apologized. Only then did Anthony let him go. Afterwards, the two went on a date. By the end, it was already night. Vivian had fallen asleep. The system suddenly issued a task. It required Anthony to kiss Vivian, with a time limit of 30 seconds. Failure would result in punishment. So what will Anthony do?